everyone. Welcome to our therapeutic reviews of the Tolkien lore that is being butchered and fucked with and made into a much worse television show.
This season for me is a test of one's faith.
And with some pretty bad writing, some insanely stupid situations, whereas they think they are creating gold. They are instead creating shit.
It's fire, son.
It's fire, son.
No, it's not.
That is a fire. If you mean.
This season for me is a test of one's faith.
Anyways.
Dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire. Whoa. Episode 6, which is smartly entitled, Where Is He? Even the titles are bad these days. Guys, welcome.
If you think it's gotten better,
it really
has
I've had time, more time to just read the reference material, the original lore, Tolkien's writings, and it's just night and day. We've been at this for 6 weeks, or 4 or 5 weeks, something like that, and I wanted to know, refresh myself on the Siege of Eregion, how it went. In the lore versus how it's going to go in the show. We've seen little bits and pieces here on the show, and I can already tell it's going to be a disaster, and it's going to be much worse. But where is he? I'll go ahead and let you guys go. Let's hear from Alex first. What did you think of Where Is He episode 6, the sort of penultimate episode before the Siege of Eregion?
New fucking...
Before it gets good?
Well, maybe it gets good. You don't know. You don't know. It could out of nowhere get really exciting and amazing. Look, I got a new favorite character. I think that the war is going to get super interesting when the fucking dwarves have Batman. And when you can summon bats and scare away, and then instead of making like a cool looking scene, like with like a bunch of, there's like 5 bats that come down.
Bro, I got secondhand embarrassment from that scene.
You don't think they'll be used to it by now with all the fucking digging? It's like, oh, they're just fucking bats.
No, they don't know the mountain. They don't know where the sun is. They don't know where the walls end and like the light begins. They don't know anything.
All their lives.
And they refuse to be slaves to the sun
bats!
while being slaves to the sun.
Yeah, I don't think this episode is very good.
No.
I don't think most of the episodes are very good. I mean, the same problems continue to happen. Numenor feels like there's 20 people that live there. And so it feels like an incredibly small place. There only feels like there's 30 total elves. And that's between Linden and Eregion. And so like there's so few people. The world feels so small, and they're setting up this amazingly huge war, but you keep filming. You don't have like these establishing shots showing the bustling. We did get some in Khazad-dûm at some period of time. We did get some. There's a bunch of miners, but it's like Numenor and the elves, there's 7 fucking elves. And they just forget that they have all of these people.
It's hilarious.
And
at
then
one point, it's like, you think I was a siege with 1 legion, and then the shot pans, and I'm like, oh, okay, so you have a legion and a few more guys setting fires.
Yeah.
Was that supposed to be multiple legions?
Well, there's only 7 elves, and so it's fine because that many orcs are going to beat 7 elves no matter how many people they've got.
I wrote that down too.
I really hate the callbacks that they continue to try to do. They keep taking quotes from either the books or the movies, and they try to get clever with them. Tom fucking Bombadil. And so Gandalf is off having his Empire Strikes Back moment, which I hate that they're doing, where he has to decide to leave his training and go save his friends immediately or become his thing. It's fucking Empire, and Empire did it better. And so then he says the quote from the movie where Gandalf Frodo's looking like, I'm going to go kill Gollum. And he's like, well, some that, deserve to die. We need to have mercy. Which is
see what I'm saying?
the point of the thing is to have mercy. And then Tom Bombadil's like, maybe Nori needs to die because you got to do these other things. It's like,
Tom is an asshole.
Well,
many that die deserve life. Some that live deserve death.
he's so serious too, and the thing is, like, I imagine there'd be so much more levity and joy and whimsicalness
in Tom,
and he's just so serious about it. And I get that they're trying to do he's the Yoda thing, and the stranger, you know, they're trying to do Empire, and you just need to stop doing Empire because you can't even do a written story correctly. Stop ruining other things too, and so
like
it's
Tom
like
Bombadil.
Turn away now, and you can never return to this path.
And it's ridiculous things. Like Galadriel sitting at a table, and he's like, "What did Sauron promise you? An army." It's like, lady, you're the general of the northern armies. All of the armies. You're the general of the northern armies.
He gave us what we most desired.
It's like, lady,
What?
you already
Kids.
have several armies, and so it's like
The orcs did kid.
it's just a ridiculous thing. And then they're like, "Oh, this is the crown of Morgoth." It's like, no, it ain't. Shut the fuck up. Like, stop it. And so they just keep.
I actually like
It's
that little bit.
butchering everything.
But like, it's really important where it is, where the actual crown is, and it's like, and so like that's why I don't like it. They've created a new magical MacGuffin where they think that they create a crown plus a ring. It's like he has no basis for this. There's no tomes. There's no lore. It's just a fucking dude who's like, we take the crown, we take the ring, and I smush them together. It's like, what do you mean smush them together?
You put on the
bind
ring,
them.
and then you have the crown and start stabbing.
Yeah, I mean, it's like what.
What are you
That's what
supposed
you
to
do.
do? Are you supposed to put the crown on his head and the ring on his finger? And he's like, "What? Oh, okay, thank you. I win now."
You rub them together or something. I don't know what they're doing, but they've created a new fucking MacGuffin because
Or
they have
Joe, just stab him.
Yeah.
With the,
you put the ring in the hole.
Yeah, just stab him. No, you put the ring on and stab him.
Oh,
Gives you
okay.
power.
Yeah, so I have no idea what they're doing, but I don't think that they necessarily have a good idea what they're doing. And what you kind of, to echo what you said earlier, if you're going through the original stuff, you can just look at the breakdowns of the stuff that happened in the Second Age, and you go, wow, I want to see that.
It's right there.
And then when you see that they've done here, it's like, wow, this is so much worse.
stupid.
That like I don't necessarily like any of the characters.
it's
and
like, did they bother to even look at the reference material at this point?
But I mean, so they've never specifically told us what they can and can't use. And if honestly, if
I actually thought they couldn't use any of the Cimmerillion, and I didn't even know they could say the word Morgoth.
I didn't think
I
they
didn't
could.
even know they could do that, but here they are. This is like the first mention of Morgoth we got.
Maybe
I
these.
think.
Morgoth's crown. I was told.
There are many stories of what happened after the Silmarils were pried from its settings.
The estate's allowing them to do more, but if the estate, however many years ago, said no, you can't do any of these things, Amazon should have walked away because you have put
You don't
yourself.
know Morgoth is the first Dark Lord before Sauron.
Yeah, he's the devil. He's the universe is the devil, and Sauron is just a lieutenant of the devil. And so like he's big, and he's stuck in the center of the
And
earth.
they need it. And I was like, well, how are they going to do this by the time we get to Numenor? Because they need Morgoth in order for that to work. Or at least the specter of Morgoth.
Yeah, and so his crown is wrapped around his neck, and it's chaining him to the center of the earth, which is why like this is his crown. It's like, what? No. So I didn't particularly love it.
No.
I do love
No.
Deesa's bat powers. I hope that becomes the focus
You're
of the
joking,
show.
right?
Yeah, because I don't. I mean, look,
that was the worst scene for me.
I've
was like, what's
I've
going
pulled
on?
away almost entirely as far as like attachment to the show, and so I'm
Yeah.
just sitting there going
This
like,
this is not what they intended it to be. We
Yeah.
are now watching this show as real. I'm excited every week to watch how they can fuck up and how bad fan fiction has been pumped with billions of dollars.
Yeah.
It's so fascinating to me. You take the two people, these creatives, and they keep talking about all the artistry on display in the after episodes, which y'all
I don't
refuse to watch. And I can't roll my eyes any harder. It's like you give it to literally somebody who has no business, conducting such a legendary franchise. I would find it would be even difficult for well-seasoned veterans that make hit TV shows to get this across, because it's difficult, because this spans multiple centuries and years and stuff, and you have to have good characters even though it's already there for you. So it's very frustrating to see some of this stuff play out, that at this point it's just fan fiction. It's hilarious to me, and the Batman, the Disa Batman, was just
I was like, what?
I
What
was
are you
like, yes.
doing?
I thought
fucking
I
weird.
was expecting like avalanche. She gonna kill these dudes with like a
Yeah.
rock avalanche?
Yeah, me
Can she
too.
summon the rocks like Ludo, who is amazing?
And I just love all the melodrama, and then she's with her
With her
husband,
cape.
and they're looking off into the distance. They will be back. And
God,
then he's
I
like,
love
I
you.
will be ready. I love you. No, I love you. And it's like,
I was rolling
so
my eyes when she's like
cringy.
turns around with her cape. She's
It's
like,
so it's right. It's
Batman.
like it's like a theatrical, like we're watching a theater production with theater kids in middle school who are all overacting because they want attention.
Yeah. Did you love both times that Sauron said, precious?
I did.
I loved it.
But I think everybody's now seeing, what we were talking about before, where they just cannot help themselves but jam straight up aped and lifted lines from Peter Jackson's trilogy into their own thing. So when they're trying to tell people, oh, we're trying to make our own thing, that's why we're going to take the story, we're going to inject our own things into it. Well, then make your own thing! Why do you keep lifting lines one for one for better things?
They said the thing. They said the thing.
The thing. But there's even those mentally deficient people trying to find other words. Even them, they're going to get tired of that. Okay, you said the thing seventh time now. Yeah. Now here's an eighth thing. Oh, my hands are tired. Even they would get tired. And I don't see. And then Alex, I was like, who is like fully in? Alex said, oh, I looked up this review. It was like posted the instant.
The featured review on IMDb when we pull, I was like, wow, this sounds like AI. And you put it in the AI detection, it says 100% AI.
Yeah.
So it's like, whoa.
You take the looks and it does a reverse search. It's motherfucking AI. So I don't know if it's like Amazon employees, day and date. Okay, the episode's up. Let's put
PR companies on.
Yeah, do that as soon as you clock in.
I don't think these people exist. But apparently the showrunners are smelling their own farts. Just recently, they said that everybody that criticizes the show, they're trolls. And so we are trolls because we are
Look how well
the
that
show.
Worked out for that chick and
Acolyte?
Yes.
Yeah, it didn't work out.
You guys just don't understand it. You guys are being racist. No, it's fucking
exactly.
dumb.
They
Your writing is dumb.
of it of being, you're sexist, you're racist, or you're, you hate gays, or you hate diversity, and these kinds of things.
I just hate
now,
your
those
writing.
people do exist.
Yes,
Let's
they
not
do.
pretend that
They
there
do.
aren't channels that, the second they see a colored person or some diversity, they scream bloody murder. But, I mean, I'm a progressive. I think we're progressives here, and when you're pointing at channels that, you think it's all coming from one political spectrum and it's all slanted, bro. If you fucking look, everyone hates this series. Everyone that I've seen that is actually a critic or that can analyze dialogue or that's fan of the source material of Tolkien, it doesn't matter if you're, Democrat, Republican, progressive, conservative.
I mean, I do know
it's bad writing, and people can see it and understand it. And for the showrunners to be like, well, you can't. It wouldn't be a journey to Middle Earth without some trolls, saying that your writing is bad and all this other. It's like la 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 la. La la la, and when the showrunners are doing that, it gives me no hope for the rest of the 3 seasons. I mean, I thought I saw a story. I can't confirm it that they've already greenlit season 3. I haven't seen that story proliferate, so I don't know where it came from. But they do have the money for it. They've got the money for it. So
it'd be too big of a stain.
It's not a good idea to dismiss every single person, including us, as some trolls or right wingers or bigots or things like that. And it's just tired. And it
is. But the only good thing about the Acolytes is Star Wars. That's the first time it brought Star Wars people to unify and be like, yeah, this sucks.
Yeah, there you go.
Everyone was together, and
that's
they're like,
a good point. And now
sucks.
this is unifying.
And this one, everyone is
And hopefully they'll get it. And I guess the only way they'll get it is if their numbers continue to sink, because viewership is down, despite Amazon saying viewership is up. And this is the greatest, most successful show of all time.
Easy of all time.
41 million viewers. But then if you stare at it, it's over this amount of time, and it's like, well, you did double that the last time.
Yeah, you got to fudge the numbers.
Yeah, they fudged the numbers. Anyways, back to the episode at hand. It's
no good. I didn't like it. I guess the first season, what I really liked was like visuals and stuff. Like, oh, the money and everything is there. Like you see that. But then, like Alex was saying, the second season, everything just kind of went smaller and smaller. We're getting tighter. It's like, well, without the visuals, that's some of the positives. But now you don't really have the visuals. You didn't really have the writing. You didn't have the good actors that you care about. Like here, I didn't care whenever we went to Numenor.
Yeah,
I don't like those characters at all.
Yeah.
The whole Queen stuff and
I'm with you.
I hate
Joe.
that
They've
stuff.
Destroyed the Numenor.
And then we went to the Harfoots and the love interest.
They expanded on the love interest.
Yes,
This
rolling
episode
eyes and that. It's just so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And I was with Gandalf. He was like, just forget about Nori. Go choose your staff. Take as long as you want.
Yeah, that's something we didn't talk about enough in the last episode. How Gandalf just like, yeah, whatever, I'm gonna take a bath, and like my friends literally are probably
he
dead.
has a vision.
They survive a fucking being thrown from a tornado thousands of feet in the air. Hold on! And they land harmlessly, no broken bones, no bruises, not even a scratch.
The tree hit the girl. She's fine.
And
It's fine.
That's a different scene, Joe. But yeah, there's
everyone's
no stakes,
fine in here.
no tension, no danger. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't like all that stuff is going on. They're like, I don't care about the Nobody and Poppy stuff. They're probably gonna dive more into it.
Yeah,
but I don't fucking care.
Or maybe this is about as much as we're gonna get is the kiss, and I hope so.
I hope so, but
and now
like,
they're
I
gonna
don't
shack up and make a home and have little babies.
Yeah, I don't like this. And then like
stool
I
babies.
totally fucking forgot about that fucking elf until they brought him back in this episode real quick.
Oh shit! You're
Yeah,
right.
exactly. It's like the orcs was like, let's just go back home. We don't want to fight this war. Let's go back.
Thank you, Joe. I
to
wrote
our
this
fucking
down,
kids.
and I'm gonna harp on this when it's my turn.
Yeah, I love when they find. He's like, "Oh, look, the orcs have a crayon drawing showing exactly where the script is telling them to go." Oh, cool.
And I feel bad for the orcs because they just want
Exactly.
to go home.
That's what I wrote. I'm looking at Eregion like he's a fucking murderer.
He's like, we're not traitors. I just want to go home to my family.
That's it. Deserters. He's like, I am not fighting for Sauron anymore. I'm going home to my
Chasing
family.
a ghost.
Now what? One orc does come up behind the motherfucker.
Yeah, he's fine.
But
Kill
this
him.
is an elf who are mortal enemies of the orc. So the orc is like, hey, what the hell? Wait.
He was just gonna hug it.
Hey, he turns around, he fucking murders
He's
him.
like, tell my 5 kids I love them.
And then Eregion and the showrunners have all these shots of him going.
Was it weird when he was running? Yeah, he was like,
And he looks so heroic, and I'm just thinking, this motherfucker seems so sinister, so unnecessary, so extra, and it's amazing what bad writing will do to unravel all the world building. Because they did that historic mistake of saying that orcs don't want to fight anymore. They all have families.
Yep.
And they just want to be left alone. It put a fucking dark seed in all the audience's head. And now every time they depict orcs, I'm like, well, are these good orcs or are these bad orcs?
They
Wait a
seem
minute.
like good orcs.
We have a moral conundrum here. You created it. I didn't create it. You did.
yeah. And then another line, Endar's like, okay, well, what are you going to do after that? Are you going to
They
let us go?
pretend as
Let
if
us
these
live
orcs are
in peace?
irredeemable. If they wanted to show that, they could have had the wife orc and the baby orc, and then the husband just like stabs the wife multiple times after she gives birth, and then the orc baby eats the fucking orc mama for sustenance, and then grows into a warrior, and it's like irredeemable. Fuck this whole evil race. And then when they depict later on just wanton murder and destruction, then you're like, okay, well, who cares? But now I'm thinking, holy shit, these are deserters, and maybe they can convince others not to fight. And Eregion just comes along for no reason and just murders them. They're a plot device.
Yeah.
And then after he murders them, he fucking steals from their dead carcasses immediately.
He investigated.
This show has royally fucked up in my eyes because I'm over here caring about the fucking orcs more than the people.
Yes,
I care more about the orcs. Like, what the fuck did you do, man? They were just going home to their families.
All right.
And they didn't want to fight the war.
I agree completely.
And then I'm with Andar. Like,
Listen.
he's telling Galadriel, like,
Arondir.
what are you going to do afterwards? Are you going to let us live in peace? Adar. He's like, are you going to let us live in peace? We just want to stay in Mordor.
Isn't that so crazy?
We just want to stay in Mordor, keep to ourselves.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, go ahead.
And when they were discussing at the table, I'm like, this motherfucker is right. Yes. Everyone support Adar.
Yes.
100%.
I'm for the orcs.
I'm on the orc side.
I'm like,
let these dumb-ass elves die. I want everybody in the world of this Tolkien's world to die. It's not Tolkien's world. It's Amazon Prime's world.
That's
I'm rooting for the wave and for the orcs.
For the wave, for the orcs to be all wiped out. And listen, okay, I wrote this down. Like, in my fantasy content, with armies and legendary elf fighters that live for thousands of years and they're just so studied and the culture and military tactics. Listen, and then you also have brutal orcs, like savage. You do not want to walk into an orc.
No.
And monstrous trolls that are like fucking super, powered villains.
All they know is kill and destroy.
Right. Where all of these different things fight each other in the world. It's interesting. It's guys love it. Okay, this is something that we're doing and we enjoy. But what I cannot tolerate is just utter stupidity and incompetence in this world. Yeah, mistakes, yes. Tactical mistakes, huge calculated risks that don't pay off and end up exploding in your face and causing a lot of destruction. That and turning disastrous, that I can forgive. But what I cannot tolerate is utter stupidity and incompetence. And that's what is being exhibited by the elves. You have an entire city, a legendary city of Eregion, and you're telling me that they have no military, they have no patrols, they have no idea that there's a legion of orcs marching 2 feet outside their walls. It is so frustrating. It is as if, and then there's like no military. It's as if you put a pacifist kindergarten teacher in charge of world-ending military events, and this motherfucker who will refuse to harm any living being no matter the cost. And it's funny, only this is even worse than that made-up scenario because there is no one in charge. At least if it was a pacifist kindergarten teacher, there might be 10% will be like, no, we have to go and attack them or my children are going to die. And so I'm going to not be pacifist for a second here. But there's nobody in charge. There are no military commanders. It made me so upset when I saw there's a moment later on where finally, just as the orcs are coming out from behind the trees and there's fires everywhere, there's one elf that goes, "Oh my God, sound the bells, we're under attack!" And his voice, like he is a scared fucking child.
Yeah.
I paused it, says, "Commander Morondil."
It's moron.
Moron! Wait, is that really what they made it?
It's moron.
I needed to double check. Commander Melendol. Melendol. Melonhead fucking moron Moore is what his name is. That's the commander who said sound the bells, who sounded like a terrified child while doing so. And then later in the city they sound the bells. We're under attack. Depict like these women running around like they're human women, scared they're about to fucking die. The entire city is in massive panic, and I'm like, nah, I don't believe the elves that have lived this, you don't know anything about.
They know they get resurrected, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. And these don't feel like elves. They feel like a literal human city, just with the wax pointed ears. And when you break everything in the immersion, it's bullshit.
There can be panic. I agree with you that they just did it in a way that is not satisfying. I think there needed to be, and I don't wish more content, but there needed to be more when Anatar is leader of the city, where he sends the troops away to Linden. He's like, we just got we got word from Gil-galad that you have to go support him and send them away. He needs to be subverting significantly more than what he's doing, because the problem is like overall believability.
That seems like a quick fix of way better.
Yeah, but so like and I know that there are people that just watch and they're not familiar with the world and they just want to watch something on TV, and it's probably satisfying. But the problem is like having a little bit more exposure to it, knowing what the world is like, or just knowing what like better fantasy is. You look at it, and I got punched out, and I can't when I'm outside and I am no longer on for the ride. I'm like, what, how is this? Why is this? Any of this stuff is working?
Because I haven't read the book, so I've seen all the movies. I've seen the Hobbits too. Yeah, but I could tell this isn't.
I love Hobbits is a masterpiece compared to this, and that's difficult to say, but they do have one clever scene. Okay, I like when finally not that scene. The scene with Anatar, stuff that they could have been doing with Anatar this whole time.
I like that.
The problem is, I loved it, and then I thought about it for 5 more seconds, and I said, why wasn't this used at other times? You could have had me on board. I could be over here 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, with these made up, fan fiction lore, because if he can fucking, spin fucking images for you, okay, then he could have been doing that while he's convincing Celebrimbor to make the rings and all the other smiths, and actually give purpose to that female smith. It's like, hey, something's going on. And then she rounds a corner one night, and Anatar is like, and Celebrimbor's like, yeah, I gotta make these rings. And she's like, what the fuck? And he looks over, and it's like that fear, that fucking horror, that tension, and she runs away. And then he slowly tricks her, gets close to her, and then one night it's like, and before she can fucking say or do anything, she had to go to Linden for this and that. And he continues the deception. And you're like, oh my God, this guy's so manipulative. He has so much power. There's no way to stop him. We just didn't need to let him in. The only way to stop him was to not have him inside here. Right? And that's how it is in the fucking books. It's like, he is inside. We're fucked. And then he could have even fixed the fucking city. It's not just the commander that goes, sound the bells, we're under attack. Earlier in the episode, motherfucking Sauron, Anatar, is looking out in the distance, meaning any of those random guards on the walls would have seen what he saw, which is all these smokes from the fires that the orcs are setting a mile away. Oh, it's a forest fire in 17 different locations.
Happens all the time.
Right.
After he sees the fires, he
smiles.
Well, he walks to Khazad-dûm.
We'll talk about that in a second, but let me finish this point. Is that, okay, so if he has this power to weave, he could have just had this power to weave a fog, a fog, so it covers your view, and so that motherfucking, the whole city is cast in fog and shadow and doubt, and it's like, what is happening? How is all this stuff going on? And then literally when he has to divert or make it a beautiful scenic scene, whatever you want, either one. But then when he notices that Celebrimbor is wavering, he has to turn his attention to Celebrimbor, and he has to give him the image, and that immediately takes the image away from all the guards that are standing guard. And that would have made for a most amazing scene where the guard is like, what the shit? Oh, fuck! That would create the panic. And it's like, at this point, Sauron, and it's so poignant because it's like, written in the story, Sauron only cares at this point to get the rest of
Yes.
the rings made. So he's like, fuck everybody else.
Yeah.
I can let them go panic because the only person that matters is this one. And he gets him to finish the rings. It's like, oh, when you know that you've had it this whole time in
It
your
would've been
pocket
way better.
and you use it and I'm like, yes, that's one good scene, but you could have expanded on that and made Sauron feel like Sauron, this powerful being that can do these things. Yet, he's never felt powerful until this point. It's all happenstance. It's all everyone else's stupidity.
He's a super seducer.
And I don't know, lightning strikes on bridges miles away. If he could... Nah, man. All right. And then, yeah, Alex, you tell us about the distance that Sauron travels.
Well, it's important because you mentioned that the fires are there, and he has time to walk from Eregion to Khazad-dûm, treat with the king, leave, come back, and they still haven't sounded the alarms yet. So
It's so nice for Adar to just wait
Everything
for him.
is smaller in the middle.
well, everything is smaller. There's only 7 elves. You know,
Somebody did the research, so they found even the positive channel on this Lord of the Rings. They realized they changed the map. So the first promo map that came out, the city is a little bit further away and on the other side of the river. Then this season the map comes out, the city is over here on the opposite side of the river. I'm not talking about Eregion. This is a smaller city. I forget what it's
Eregion's
called.
the region. I don't remember the
And
capital.
yeah, and so it makes it. But even by that logic, he put the tracker and the leagues, and it was about 311 miles, something like that, round trip. On foot or horse, that's going to take you a while in this time. So Adar had to just sit there. He doesn't know Sauron's plan. He doesn't like Sauron. He's not going to wait for Sauron.
He was waiting for his legions, Joe. Yeah, I like that some of the stuff that they're doing with Sauron is manipulator. I don't necessarily know if I want him to be so powerful he can weave things into being, where he can like...
He's already done it. He's already weaved the Borrowites into being. He's already
he resurrected them, but
these evil creatures coming up from the ground in random swamps that bite people but don't actually use any of their teeth.
Yeah, I mean those things are coming because because evil is rising, and I like that he can go into Celebrimbor's mind and make him see realities that don't exist. I don't know if I'd want him to be so powerful he can make the entire city of Eregion, even though there's only 7 elves there, see something that is not there. But I mean, there's supposed to be thousands of elves, and if he could make thousands of elves, that's a level of power.
That's the level of power that is sort of like, that's so cool, I accept it. If you're doing your own thing, you might as well do your own thing that's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
And it's hard to say, hey, I hate it. I like it. It's like Star Wars Star Killer.
Oh, yeah.
What is the fucking game series called?
Force Unleashed?
Unleashed, yeah. Motherfucker just brings down goddamn Star Destroyers.
It's
I'm
like, this is not
holy
canon,
shit.
right? Or not canon, that's cool as shit.
It's cool as shit. If you're going to be writing your own fan fiction, let's fucking go. So that's why I said that. The more realistic thing is he could just weave these smaller spells, these vision spells for just Celebrimbor as he's trying to convince him. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't like that they're on this weird time where I can't figure out how to make the rings for men. It's like, why? They're exactly the same as the rings for dwarves. They're exactly the same. They're the same rings. Stop it. There's nothing special about them. But then...
In fact, they're probably easier to craft than the 3 rings of the elves.
Yeah, I don't...
Because they're crappy.
But
they need tension.
Forced
tension.
They
need to be like, make the fucking human rings, while he's like, no, I won't make the human rings. They need that.
Yeah. You gotta trust me, friend. Let go of me, friend.
And then Celebrimbor jumps his ass, and I was like,
"Where's your friend, guy?
Pal, I'm not your pal, buddy. I'm not your buddy, man."
That's what I thought of as soon as
God damn it.
But like they're so like, I just imagine them getting in a slap fight, and not like a good slap fight. It's just like Celebrimbor's like,
Galadriel is
she's great.
She's great. She's so stupid. She literally gives him all the information that he
I'm
needs
not
to
telling you
know.
everything, but here's everything I know. Thank you. You've told me everything.
Then we go back to Rune for a pointless story that makes Tom Bombadil worse and more of an asshole, and it makes no sense. and then we go to the Harfoots and the Stools, or the Stoops, or whatever they're fucking called,
Stools.
and they have a love story and
Why
a
are you
kiss.
looking at me like that?
I
Nobody.
don't give a fucking
You want
shit.
a kiss? Was she holding a snake?
Yeah, they were milking
Yeah,
a snake.
but he
Okay, I
tastes, lips
thought-
taste like lizard, Joe. You had
yeah,
you
that's fucking
This
stupid.
is supposed to be tugging at your heartstrings. The leader of the Stools is crying because she had to bury her partner under the tree. Shut the fuck up! This is clearly a time waster.
Yes.
This whole storyline is there for runtime. There is no point to any of this. None.
Yeah.
Okay,
Aaron,
so we agree. Let's go with the final verdict now that I'm good and fucking pissed.
It's going to be a 3. The best parts were probably the cool scene that we got. Where
The spell weaving.
The spell. And I liked a little bit of the
Blood magic, I
the
think,
dwarf
I guess,
stuff.
because he cut his
I like a
cut
little
his
bit of the
hand.
door stuff that was going on with his dad and stuff. But then once you get to the and that, I was like, you were doing so good. Why did you ruin this for me? Like, this was my happy place.
Why can't
The
this
mines,
this story?
the mines were my happy
mines.
place.
And you done fucked
then
it up.
what are you
I was
doing?
expecting that, okay, there's a few dwarves that might be loyal to them. He is the prince, after all, assumedly the
Yes.
next person in power. So some dwarves will be like, hey, man, we'll get with you.
Yeah, like he's talking
And then
to the
they'll
people.
have a few dwarves in the way, and there's arguments and shoving. No, it's...
Yeah, and they're-
Am I not just...
it just feels like they don't know what the fuck they're doing because then they're bringing Erendir just like, oh, remember this guy? We gotta bring this guy, and then we gotta solve some stupid Numenorian shit. That I like the creature. The creature looked cool once.
Cool. Yeah. There's these small nuggets.
Yeah, there
Here
is.
and
like,
there, but
it would have
it's
been
like
a lot
searching.
cooler, but
It's like when you go to, the.
I know you're trying to avoid saying Second Harvest, but you want to say Second Harvest.
I tried to find. This
better.
motherfucker knew exactly what
Because
I was thinking.
it's-
It's about
That's
to
what
do
it
Second
is.
Harvest. Mine is much worse. Not creative. You know, when you go on that trip with your dad, and you're just like you go to these little museums and stores. I remember there was this big sand pit, and then you would go and you'd sort through the sand pit. It's, oh fuck! That's fucking gold! I found a little piece of gold! And then you put it in that little bag. There'd be like these little bag nuggets. And I was like, oh my God, I got so much gold. This is fucking amazing. And then they overcharged my dad for the whole experience. And turns out to be fool's gold! It's my right! Do you remember those things?
yeah, of course.
You remember those things?
But it's not sand. Sand is neutral. And,
Yeah.
well, it's coarse. And, yeah,
gets everywhere.
but.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's what I give it.
Okay, well, you give it a 3. Okay.
I agree that there's some great nuggets here. I think Durin is still the best character,
Yeah.
though. I did have some issues with him here. There's a scene of him literally getting bitch slapped across the room by his super-powered father into him kind of breaking
Thank
down.
you.
And so, like, it's the kind of thing, it's like, Durin's still the best. I still like Disa.
I like his performance, and you feel for him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're like, but this doesn't make sense if you just got bitch slapped in the next week.
Yeah, it's difficult. I understand that he's like, I don't want to overthrow my father. It's like, nah, we're not necessarily talking about overthrowing your father. Or, rebelling is a little bit different. And so there are some nuggets of stuff that I do enjoy, but overall, I think it's kind of poor. I want the siege to happen. They've been building up towards the siege. It feels like we're spinning our wheels before we get there. The beginning of the episode, the orcs are at Eregion. The end of the episode, the orcs are at Eregion. Wow. I wanted to see trolls. I expected Galadriel
the big
to
guy.
be
Yeah.
The
trolls.
motherfucking title of the episode, where is he? And then the troll, the only thing he said is, where is he?
Yeah,
Where's Sauron?
That cost money. And so them trying to poorly write themselves out of holes that they themselves dug and fell into, I'm not giving them a whole lot of credit for. It's like the changing of the stories of the rings and the mithril thing that everyone should be having it. Like, I don't care about that stuff, but I do understand how some people could be interested. I did get glimpses of kind of what I wanted to see years ago when this got announced. Galadriel is actually like, this is Sauron's plan.
Yeah.
This whole thing. That's what she needed to be day one.
Yeah.
That's where this whole series should have started because she's one of the oldest and wisest elves. Her and Gil-galad should have been like, I don't trust that dude. Who is that guy? Lord of Gifts, fuck you. Get out. And then they get dismissed, and then there's a slow manipulation. It was like the only time I was like, that's the only believable thing I've ever seen out of Galadriel when she wasn't, it's her finally realizing that they're being played. Yeah. It's like, but that's who she should have been from the start because she's not actually 20 years old. She's supposed to be several thousand years old. So I think it's a bad episode. It's on par with all the other bad episodes. I hope that the combat picks up and I can just forget about the writing and just watch people on fire and being used as nailed to banners and all of the things that are going to.
Alex, we're discussing the military strategy and tactics that were covered of the siege of Eregion, and we're like, there's no way the show is going to come anywhere near to this.
Yeah, well, they can't wrap it. I mean, like, you're telling me that, like, armies...
And we'll tell you about it. I might tell you about it in the spoiler section, but let's wrap up here.
But
so,
it's bad as all the other ones. It's a 3.
Yes. I was gonna go 4. I was like, what was our last rating for the last episode?
It was 4.
As like it was so boring, but like probably the best that the thing can come up with, like a 5. And then I was like, is this 5? Is this 4? But the more I think about how incompetent the Eregion soldiers are and the elves, and there's no patrols, the elves are just fucking stupid and morons. The whole Rune storyline with Tom Bombadil just continuing to be a fucking asshole, cryptic asshole, and the love with the Poppy and the kissing, and then the Disa Batman and everything just kind of falling apart. There's really the only good parts is like I'm starting to sympathize with the elves, and it brings me back to season 1 where I'm like, the best guy is Adar. I want Adar to win. I want everyone to die.
For the orcs, yeah.
Right. And so now I'm like on Adar's side. So Adar's scene is good. And then the one time that Sauron shows some power at the last minute, and I'm like,
because he got pushed.
That was awesome. But now all of a sudden,
don't push me, friend.
Why didn't you do that all these other times? So it's gonna be a 3, a 3 out of 10. The calm before the storm. They can't even do the calm right. So hopefully the storm will be right, because like, how do you fuck up action scenes and and wrap this up? I don't know, but we're about to find out next week. So it's bad. The writing is bad. And if you're enjoying this show, like, I don't know what you're on. You need to share some. All right. So that is it. And we'll go into the episode breakdown now so we can show you exactly how stupid it is. Okay. All right, so the thing it begins with Arendir, who murders some orcs, who these orcs had to change their heart. They don't want to fight anymore. They're heading back to their families.
They were going to make a bakery, an organic bakery, and they were going to make treats for pets too. And they were going to grow flowers, and
and that plot point really destroys this whole world, or puts a big hole in it. And his slow, heroic looks now seem to me
again the way he was
completely
running
sinister.
Looks so weird.
Yeah, and I hate his armor. It just I hate everything about it. And
but he found a cool
my
drone.
my Boninkin fellow Boninkaneer, I can't root for him. You forget he exists almost all the time. It's not his fault.
He didn't write it. He can be awesome.
We don't.
But I'm not gonna
hate the actors. We hate the characters they're portraying.
Yeah.
Right. It's amazing. It really is. The bad writing is really amazing at how much of a disservice it's done to the world, and made me question straight up heroes that they're trying to depict as heroes who kind of seem like murderers.
He just felt injected too, because he really didn't do like.
There's a scene we'll talk about later where Galadriel puts off major racist energy. Like, she's dropping hard N's. That's the way they depict orc. Yeah, I'm what the fuck? It's just real bad. All right, and then we go to Celebrimbor's mind is going, Joe. He can't even remember the name of I can't remember her name either.
Mirandil.
No. Something. Yeah. It's a play on the group, the blacksmith group. And he's just focused. Why, Alex?
He can't get it to work. He looks at the metal,
can't get it up.
And he's like, why can't I not do this? It's just like, they should be just like the Dwarven rings, but the writers have told me that these rings are different, and then I can't make them work.
It's just like the source material.
Yeah.
I can't make it work.
It's a joke because this is nothing.
Yeah,
like
that's
this.
exactly what it is. Yeah.
All the rings were made for the fucking elves, and Celebrimbor didn't have a problem, making the rings for men because he never wanted to make rings for men because they were never for men. Dwarves are late with the mithril. Why are they late with the mithril?
Sauron is killing them.
So that fucking Sauron can teleport instant transmission DBZ style to go over there and make one of the scenes with Durin and Durin more tension filled and mysterious. And it turns out that he
stole
it. Is that what happened?
No, I think because
had
he cut. I think he turns his blood into the metal. I don't think it's mithril at all. Immediately after slicing his hand, he shows up with metal. I don't think he stole.
Because I saw him. Yeah.
I thought that was more like
A ritual thing or
magic. I
something?
need to be able to do these other things. Interesting take. Moving on, Anatar is put in charge of the whole city because Celebrimbor is focused on the rings.
Well, and he also sees the Balrog in the flames, which was weird.
What?
Did you not see the Balrog when he's talking
I'm
to...
talking about Anatar.
Yeah, Anatar, when he's talking to Durin, he looks over at the fire and the fucking Balrog is in the flames.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah,
missed
and
that part.
I saw some bubbling lava, like he's getting pissed off and he wants to do something. But now I guess that makes sense if it's an image of the Balrog because he's like, I'm about to wake that Balrog to fuck you motherfuckers
What's
up.
crazy, I don't know if they're trying to assume, or imply
What a
that Sauron has
stupid-
any power over
Right.
the Balrog. The Balrog is at, if not higher than his level, and just be like,
That's
no,
gonna be
bitch.
worse than that's gonna. Well, he's the same race as the Balrog.
He's a Mire. He's on the same level, but the Balrogs were not like. I think the Balrogs would be consider themselves.
combat,
Yeah,
you're fucked.
Yeah, you're not beating.
But in
him.
this series, I don't know. his
Yeah.
power
Right, in
level.
this series, a bunch of elves can stab him, but they do have an explanation for that, and I kind of liked it. He didn't like it.
No.
He didn't like it, but I
MacGuffin.
kind of like it. I'll get there. So the dead elf, when sent out, apparently, so then they eat. They say, "Come look at this. It's a dead elf. Something's written on his.
You wanna see a dead
chest.
body?
It's clearly a message." And apparently there is no military command or strategy or command or nothing unless specifically told and given permission to do so. All of these military people can do nothing.
But Captain, do you think this dead body has anything to do with those 17 fires out there?
No.
Are you sure?
They appear to be sending us a message.
There's 17 fires going on.
It says, "Where is he? We will ignore this. Tell no one." And she goes, "Okay, we'll tell no one. This is not important."
He is pretty.
He's in charge.
He is pretty sexy.
Yeah.
He's like, don't tell.
What?
Tell no one. Oh my God.
What?
Your hair's amazing.
She goes up to the ramparts. "I see orcs and catapults and siege things. I think we might be under attack." Oh, your
hair
Oh,
is so
thank
pretty.
you. Using a new conditioner.
That's right. I got my hair did this morning. You're right. Tell no one. Okay. I'm going to throw myself out of a window. I can't do this anymore. And then you see these orcs, pretty much these fucking elves running like in full armor, and they're running about the city. Like what are you hustling for?
That's what the script
You
said.
you didn't notice anything out there. You're not saying, "Sir, why are you clearly ignoring a massive legion of orcs about to attack us? Why has nobody
Elves can't
sent
see
out
far.
any fucking scouts?"
Yeah. What are your elves' eyes see? It's like, I can't see shit, sir.
But
This
the
motherfucker,
weapon of choice is a bow and
Galadriel.
arrow.
Yeah. Well.
Galadriel could
It's a sawed-off
see
bow and arrow.
the Numenorians masturbating in their bedrooms from on the other side of the fucking ocean. That's what she said. I could see so goddamn far. None of these elves are blind. They also cannot smell the everything burning. Oh my God, I hate this so goddamn much. There are so many other different explanations that they could have given, or maybe just fucking Adar be a little further back. Do not alert the motherfucking city before you attack. Do not go right up to the city 10 feet from the city and then allow Sauron to travel for a week to fucking Khazad-dûm and do nothing until he comes back.
And don't burn green wood, and it's not going to be all black. Like there's all sorts of things that you can do to not have them be giant signal fires.
Where is he? Was carved on the body. All the
What did he
guards
say?
are fucking morons. Yeah, she says it's where is he?
And so Sauron could have been like, "Nothing's wrong." It's like that's literally what it said. Nothing's wrong. I did this myself.
I did this myself.
Yeah.
Is what it should
Please
have said.
do not check the forest.
Yeah.
There's nobody there. Sign the orcs.
No.
And then the elves are like, "Are you sure?" And he's like,
Scratched
"Yes."
out.
Yeah, scratched out.
Orcs, scratched out. Elves. You idiot.
This is what it is now. This is canon. Thank you, Joe. Because it's as if, and then all the guards are fucking morons. They're props.
Yes.
They're pretending to do something.
That's acting.
It's as if there's only 10 guardsmen.
There is.
10
There is.
elves.
Because this is what.
There are 0 warriors in the city.
That's what-
0 army in the city.
That's why they're pacing, because they have the camera focused here. They're like, all right, run in circles. You have to run because we got to keep the scene
You're
going.
a different
They're
elf.
like,
Yeah.
And then when you come in, make sure you
Put on a mustache. Like, elves don't have mustaches. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
a Mexican mustache.
Yeah.
And he makes sure to look at the camera as he walks by.
Olé.
That's why they're hustling, because they got to run in circles.
Yeah.
They don't have
Yeah,
anyone
all right.
else.
Galadriel, then we get the scene with Galadriel being straight up racist against orcs. She says the word orc like she is using the hard N.
I can help you destroy Sauron.
What help could you possibly provide, Orc?
Towards someone who is trying to offer her help to defeat Sauron. And she's like, "You orc! You are nothing but an orc! How do you dare you talk to me?" And she does the thing with her face. Oh, God, that actress, she can be beautiful at times, but it's almost as if they're using CGI on her face. and
Racism
turning
is ugly.
her into Sauron, turning her into an ugly, ugly person.
Adar
And
just
I'm
wants
like,
peace
I
for
do
his
not
people
like
in
you.
Mordor.
This is supposed to be the hero. Anyways, and I think we get one of the first mentions of Morgoth. Maybe they mentioned it in season 1. I missed it. I didn't know they had the rights to that. But I like this idea that Sauron's iconic crown was from Morgoth before him. I like it. Now, in the lore, it is called the Iron Crown. It looks slightly different. It is Morgoth's crown is called the Iron Crown. I don't know what Sauron's crown is called, or Sauron's crown. But, no, it's just Sauron's crown. But they're not the same crown. Here, they say they're the same.
There implies that there's some magic power within it, and that's how you can temporarily defeat him for something. I don't know.
And it does make the earlier scene at the beginning of the season where where Adar uses the crown as some kind of, I don't know, cudgel.
Fucking weapon.
Stabbed him in the back or the back of the head. I don't know what he does. He does that, and because of that, the piercing, the magic, black magic, just something, he becomes vulnerable. Okay, I like it. For this stupid show, fine.
Emotionally.
Emotional damage.
Emotionally vulnerable.
Emotionally damaged. And then that's why 10 fucking orcs can fucking shank him and he fucking dies, because the crown made him vulnerable. Fine.
Why would he make a crown out of something that makes him vulnerable, especially if it's
Well,
so pointy?
it's his master's crown is what they're saying.
He had to
It's-
reforge it because Morgoth's 900 feet tall.
Yeah, but in this... Oh, you're right.
He literally had to make it. He's like, well, it's still going to have its power to kill me. Let's make it
Maybe
stabby.
in this universe, Morgoth is...
Morgoth's a dude.
He's just Rick Moranis in Ghostbusters.
How dare you? I love Rick
That's
Moranis.
great.
And he's the gatekeeper. Anyways, this crown and your rings, if we could use them, combine them,
How?
and destroy it, and we
How?
would destroy him.
I was thinking my way, to be
I like
honest.
Joe's
Put on the
way.
ring, gives her power, give me, I'm gonna fucking stab him.
And then like a steering wheel.
Yeah,
Joe's
'cause
gonna
With
you
their
stab him,
powers
we're like,
combined?
yes.
I like it.
How else would you do it?
Well, I like Alex's idea or Alex's assumption of Joe's idea, where Joe stabs with the crown, then jams in the ring in the hole.
Yeah, put it in the hole. It's
in
like,
the hole
oh,
that
why?
you just made. Ow! Why are you doing this?
I don't know.
This hurt. You think this was supposed to kill me? Ow!
So maybe and I'm being serious, maybe they just can't mention the Silmarils the way they want to, because originally
Didn't they mention the Silmarils in this episode?
Well, then they're fucking dumb. Because
I need to go back and look. I'll play it here
do
if they
that.
mention the Silmarils. Because I like, this is another thing I like. He uses Celebrimbor's grandfather who made the Silmarils as, like, you can make him better. Here's his hammer. Do him, show him up.
If they put the rings in the slot where the Silmarils sat, because originally that's where the Silmarils were in the crown, then maybe he's implying that the power. But then I don't know. Right now they've just created, in my opinion, a stupid fucking MacGuffin,
Right.
and we're gonna watch Adar try to figure out how to put a ring on a crown and then stab someone with it, and then Sauron's gonna be looking at him like, you fucking idiot. No.
Yeah. And if it's Morgoth's crown, I can't help but think what it's supposed to look like with those jewels. Because there's no spots for them.
Well, I mean,
So
the crown
do you
used to be...
Do you jam the, like, on the spikes? So there's like balls and a spike. You know, you jam on them each one like marshmallows on the fire. I guess.
And then you stab.
And then you stab.
And then I stab. No, you don't stab. Stop stabbing.
Well, if you crown him, then you're just empowering him. That's what he wants. Whatever. Then we have the trial for... but going back, at this point, Adar is the leader we all need.
Yes.
Because he's like, I need to destroy Sauron.
Then
there's some elves in the way, but they're fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to kill them. And I was like,
You're
yes.
playing into his hand, so you must be dealt with.
This is the
All
man
right,
with
that's
an
fine.
actual plan. Galadriel hasn't had any kind of plan. This motherfucker has a box. He's got this thing that he knows hurts Sauron. And he's like, let's combine your things.
And
I don't know
he's-
why he wants to combine her things with his things. He already knows that his thing does kill Sauron because he killed Sauron. The writers are fucking stupid. I don't know.
I have no idea why he thinks that the rings will have any
effect.
other than the writers.
If anything, the rings will protect Sauron.
I don't know.
Because Sauron made them.
But Joe and Peter Jackson's The Ring, it's like, yeah, but after he pours all of his power into the ring, it's the only reason that it works that way.
Then we have the trial for Elendil.
Loved it. So great.
They say, you will be set free. And then the crowd's like, oh,
You'll be set free if...
later on, the crowd is like, everyone! It's like, the Numenorians are a fucking mob.
They're a fickle mob, yeah.
They're a fickle mob.
But you can't call them a mob because there's 7 of
And
them.
I fucking hate you. Yes. I know. I hate this angry crowd at all times.
Rabble.
That just believes in anything and everything that shows up right in front of their face.
Yeah.
These are the Numenorians. They are supposed to be the legendary men, like the prototype men, an entire race of prototype bodies.
I don't wanna
I'm using
be-
prototype in the NFL sense. You know, when we're creating a character in NFL Fever is a long time.
I mean, Elendil is supposed to be 7 feet tall.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
but
wanna be
instead
like any of
they're
these.
not only they are like dumber than the men of the Southlands.
I don't want to be any of these guys.
No,
This court that the accused be set free.
None of them.
no.
They're
And
not.
I've always wanted to be Numenorians.
Nope.
I want to play Numenorians. I'm going to play the. You know what? This has made me want to do with all this military strategy, better in the books and this and that. Just makes me want to play Games Workshop's Lord of the Rings strategy battle game because that is cool shit. The shit that I want to see, I can create and play it out. This Lord of the Rings. If they ever did an expansion
No
to
one
that
would
game,
buy it.
no one would buy it because all the armor sets of all the different factions
I want to be
look
Adar.
awful. The Numenorians have the titty armor and the fucking what do you call it? It's fake armor,
Pleather? No, no.
lycra. It's printed
Oh,
lycra,
lycra.
you know, that you get from China.
Spandex.
Under their armor, and their armor is so cheap. It's just really bad. Everybody looks stupid. I hate it. All right. So anyways, he'll be set free, and he's like, if he renounces his crimes. What are his crimes? Outlawry. Outlawry!
Buggery.
Outlawry! Buggery! Skullduggery! It's like, what?
Guys like,
These guys
"Ooh."
are so...
Outlawry. Incitement of a violent conflagration.
They're reaching so hard for the flowery language that Tolkien used, like a good writer who sits there for days and months and ponders, how to word things, creates languages and things. And then these writers are giving, come on, man, let's go. Just put a re on the end of it. Just outlaw, outlaw re. I know it's a word, but it sounds fucking stupid.
Treason,
all of the Numenorians.
Treason could have just done. It's like we accuse you.
And
treason.
then finally, high treason. Like that's the least of the things. And he goes, nope, I do not accept Farzan as the true king. The true king is, what's her name? Mariel, my love. Not a thing, but in here it's a thing. What do we do with him? Okay.
You like
How about we throw him in jail? How about
he's
we
a seaman.
execute him?
Let's have someone eat that.
Let's
semen.
just throw him to the monster in the water as the Valinor want, the Valar, and execute him the way his people would have him, his people, and what his people believe would do. Stupid. All right, now we go to Tom and not Gandalf. It's Gandalf. He and this is just a really quick thing.
Yeah.
And we cut away because I don't even remember what happens here. Because we cut back to
you have failed.
Hold on. You go ahead.
Tom says you have failed every single test. If you fail this test, you're
right.
fucked.
And then he puts on his jacket, and then the scene cuts.
Yeah.
We go to this is the attempts at heart tugging, and I guess that's the purpose of the Harfoots and the rune storyline to tug at your heartstrings. All the stools, they don't want to leave where they live. It is their home, and the leader explains,
My grandpappy made this.
Yeah, even though there's evil men constantly trying to kill us, and there's no water, and we gotta eat lizards.
It's like those people live in Tornado Alley. Like,
she explains how she buried her partner under that tree over there, and then they look off in the distance, and then the scene just transfers there. Like, we're not even done with this scene, and she's crying, and I'm like, I want to leave. And then we leave, and I'm like, oh, thank God. But we go to something worse.
She's milking a snake.
Is seen, yeah, she's just holding the snake while his mouth is open. You can tell the little rubber snake.
Yeah,
like,
and
I thought when they kissed, she was going to let go of the snake and bite him.
Did you see in the last episode, I saw this in a review, someone did. I wish I could give credit. I forgot which one it is. But so when they're turning in their armor because they're like, hey, you're a faithful, if you look at the scene where one of the guy turns in his armor and he puts his hand out, it's actually not an extra. It is Elendil. Mm-hmm. He puts his armor down. He actually puts his hand on the knife that is laying on the set, and the knife goes, what? It's a rubber knife.
Yeah, of course.
They couldn't even craft a knife maker that sells knives on the side of the street for $15. You couldn't hire that guy to make a real knife. Instead, because I've seen them motherfuckers know how to make knives, and they can make them look real nice. But no, it's a rubber knife, Joe.
Maybe he's a con man. They go to war. He took this.
You're floppy.
That makes total sense for the Numenorians, bruh. I gotta put the scene here. So I'll put it here. It's gonna make me extra work for me, but goddamn it, it's hilarious. Anyways,
Genius.
Luckily, that's why they lost that war.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
stabbed him 20 times. Nothing happened.
So then Poppy is seen talking to nobody about his name while she's holding the rubber snake, and the stupid dialogue, and then they kiss.
It was. I don't know what the fuck this was.
He's
it was
about to
not
ask her
funny,
out,
though.
Joe.
Well, it wasn't funny. It's like, why didn't they call you? Why didn't they name you? It's like, well, they took like a year or two to think of a name. I was like, well, that's not too long. It's like, ago.
So the way they talk.
I can't wait for them to bang.
And then they make out, and then she comments on his breath or the taste of his breath.
Yeah.
She tasted his lizard.
She's like, how?
You had lizard.
It's a lizard that he had for supper.
Yeah.
Awesome. Just wholesome. Just cute. Just so endearing.
My favorite part is how it ties into everything.
Except none of those things are true. Because I hate the Harfoots.
Yes. And
Pointless plot line whose design is to take up time.
Yep.
And stall the series. That is literally the purpose of Rune, is to take up time and stall the series so that don't have to put the CGI for the battles. All right, Poppy says, we fight for this place. Yes? Grabs the stick. Yes. Nori agrees. The stools are going to war. The Harfoots are going to war for the stools.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Those guys are just going to kick them.
Punt.
Well, we've already seen that falling from thousands of feet into the air as a tornado flings you and all of your bones and your fragile flesh and body, slams into the desert floor, does absolutely nothing.
Except if you're the baddies, then you'll die.
Then you die. That's
Yeah.
right, you die. Except if you're an
The
important
tornado
baddie
judges you. It's like, this is a bad guy.
The tornado is always right.
Except if you're an important baddie, which he gets no scratches. His helmet is completely intact. They don't even crack his helmet or anything. It's too expensive. That's a prop. We got to reuse that next season. Tom is an asshole. Instead of teaching them and helping him, he takes them to a place with 1,000 wands and asks him to find the true wand amongst these thousands of wands.
He said, fuck your friends, find a stick.
And then he literally dismissed Gandalf's need. He goes, well, okay, I'll do this stupid task, but I really need to find my friends. I told you this 3 times. I really need to find my friends who are about to be murdered. And Tom goes, well, many die who didn't deserve it, and many die who did deserve it. And he's basically saying, who are you to decide if you should stop your friends dying? Huh?
Yeah, that's exactly what Gandalf said. Gandalf's like, what the fuck? But he disappeared. Find a stick and fuck your friends. And I'm
Are we sure Tom Bombadil's not the Dark Wizard? Because this motherfucker's wasting his time and letting his friends get killed. I'm okay with You're okay with it? I am not okay
Tom,
with
the
it.
evil
I like
wizard
Tom.
bomber. Yeah, wow.
Well, no,
I like Tom from the books. Tom is so
Poppy.
fucking cool because he's like above everything. He's just so oblivious to your fucking trivial matters.
He just hangs out with his wife and his fat horse and just has a great fucking time. And it's just like,
and then if you want to have a great time with him, you're gonna have a great time.
yeah, you're gonna do mushrooms and smoke what he's got.
He's so powerful,
Yeah.
and even the Fellowship. I think this is even in Lord of the Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. I think they mentioned Tom. They're like, why don't we give it to? Or maybe this is in a cut scene. We'll give it to Tom, and it's like, no, Tom will lose the ring. Tom doesn't give a fuck. You know, that's how powerful Tom is. It's like, let's give it to Tom. So one person instead of the whole Fellowship could have done it, but then Tom would have just like lost the ring because he doesn't give a fuck. It's just that's how powerful and oblivious it is to all these mortal problems. Anyways, the stranger says, well, okay, I could come back and then search here, once I know she's safe. And Tom goes, nah.
No re-entry.
Fuck that. Fuck you. I won't be here when you come back because I'm a dick.
And
There's no other explanation.
I'll burn
I
this
got
mother
shit
down.
to do. Like sing with my goat.
What's so funny is like this isn't like the actual trip from Linden to Eregion, which is like far. They're on the other side of the fucking hill. They live so Tom is so close.
Is literally.
And so this isn't like, oh, if you leave, you're like, it's
You'll
not
never
like
come
leaving
back.
the Dagobah system and going to fight
going
for
to
your
the
friends.
corner store.
Like you are going to the fucking corner store.
If you go to 7-Eleven, I will not be here when you
But I
get
get
back.
some snacks. I'll bring something back.
That's your choice.
What do you bring?
That's your
man.
destiny.
What do you bring me?
You either choose between your destiny or snacks. Anyways, Tom, he goes, your friend or your destiny. He literally says that.
Yeah.
That's the line he says. Your friend or your destiny, the choice is yours. And then Tom disappears anyway. Wait, is he gonna teach him or not?
No, Ninja Vanish.
Because dude could go help Nori, then come back to the
wa-
stupid valley
he
later.
vanished behind the rock.
And fine.
Yeah,
I'm
he's hiding.
watching
The
you.
point of his head is
is
sticking up behind the
point-
rock.
You can never come back.
But when he finds the stick, is he going to teach him magic and how to wield the stick? Or
Yes.
is it literally going to be you found the stick, you did it on your own, I didn't need to
The
do
magic
anything?
has always been yours to wield.
Because if he didn't need to do anything and he vanishes, the stranger could just, I'm going to go find Nori and I'll come back here later because the sticks aren't going anywhere. Unless all of this is magic, and then when he comes back, there's no sticks.
Or he could just set everything on fire.
yeah, Tom's like, no, fuck, he just burns everything down. You servant of the
spiteful-
sacred fire, bitch.
I saw
Spiteful
you leave.
motherfucker.
I
You
saw
are
you
worse than the
leave.
Dark Wizard, man. Anyway, you see this? I
Love
don't.
it.
This is
So
just
good.
forced. It's fucking forced because they're playing with a character they don't know. They don't know how to work.
Well, they saw
don't know
Empire.
his motivations. They don't know how to do it, and exactly.
They saw
It's
Empire
Star
Strikes Back.
Wars.
They saw Empire Strikes Back, and they're like, "We'll just make him Yoda." And it's like that's not really what he is. And like, no, he's fucking Yoda. Shut up.
Anatar goes to the dwarves. He wants more mithril. He offers timber for your mine shafts or more precious stuff.
Precious.
You said precious. You said precious. He's gonna
My
say precious again.
valuables.
Durin already decided before the discussion. He says nope, and Durin is like, "Oh shit, Dad, I'm right." Turns out his dad only said no, so he can gain more advantage in negotiations in the future. He'll come back, and then
They're going to want warriors.
I'ma
And
have
we're going to
everything.
have everything. We're invincible.
Yeah.
And we will ask for money.
So Durin says, "Take off the ring, Dad," and we get disembodied whispers again. Okay, this is not how these rings work.
Who's whispering?
The dwarves are not
friend.
affected by the rings initially because they're fucking stubborn. That's the whole thing of dwarves.
They're made of stone.
And exactly. And Sauron's kind of pissed at that fact, and I like that. That's not the case here. The dwarven rings are probably the most effective of all the rings. Motherfuckers are whispering to him. And he goes, and he says, no. And the son's like, all right, I'm going to try to take it off. He tries to take it off. And then the ring then gives him powers, superhuman powers, and bitch slaps his son
It lit up.
across the fucking throne room.
Yep.
And his son is shocked. And then it goes immediately. The next scene is Disa implying treason and going again and saying, let's block the mining. Let's turn the troops, on your father. Because if we block him on his own son and he imprisons or kills his own son, they'll take his crown. And,
That sounds like a genius plan. What should we do?
and Durin,
Send the bats.
Durin is concerned. Well, Durin starts crying. So it's a genius plan, but Durin starts crying. And honestly, I'm like, I like this guy's performance.
Yes.
So I'm like, cool. I get it. He's concerned for his father's image
Yeah.
and his legacy, and he loves his father so much, even though his father just hit him. It fucking hurts, and it's cool, and that comes through because the actor's so good.
Yes.
But the situation is just like the writing and the showrunners don't know how to
That was
really
my
take
good place.
advantage of
That
this.
was a good place.
His wife then yells at him, and then, he's like, I can't betray my father, and I feel his emotion, but if she goes, if we don't act, he will destroy himself and the kingdom. So it's implied he will act. Then his daughter reads his sentence to her father. Oh, this is in Numenor. It's just like this actress, Amazon really fucked her over. She's getting no work beyond this because I hate her, and I'm pretty sure everybody else hates her. This bitch would rather kill her own father who raised her than, I don't know, show kindness or try to see the point her father's trying
She
to
just
make.
lost her only brother that the show is talking about. And
Oh, everybody forgot about that, right? You would think, the next episode, like, it's going to be revealed that the evil suitor killed her actual, lover, boyfriend, or she wanted to get with, and she's going to be like, oh, I'm going to join you guys now because fuck that guy.
Yeah.
No. He's never mentioned again. Even when her father is standing in front of her, hey, Kiwi has killed this guy
who was like your brother.
who's like your brother.
And when
Doesn't say anything to her.
But she also has an actual brother.
It's almost as if like the show forgot that character existed.
Yeah.
Kiwi is a prototype of men. That's what everyone strives to be like.
Him, yeah.
A Numenorian.
Yep.
So she pulled the strings to bring the queen to the prison cell, and he still won't say that she's...
Well, she has to pull strings. The lady's blind. She can't see shit. And even though, despite she's blind, in this show, they constantly let her walk downstairs with no one helping her. The lady's blind, and she's not
they don't like her.
She's not
Alex, so
legally
it makes
blind where she
sense.
can still kind of see the stairs. She is blind.
Blind.
And so she is like constantly shown walking downstairs. Oh, someone hold her arm.
Yes.
They don't like her. Alex. And then he still won't because the sea is always right.
Especially when
I'm
he killed
not
his wife.
joking. He won't do it
Sea is
because the
always
sea
right.
is always right.
Yeah.
Disa is in the way of the dwarves, and we get the stupidest and most second-hand embarrassing scene I've ever endured. Lisa sings at the dwarves.
She sings "The Power of One"
and the
"The Power of Two,"
"The Power of Many."
Yeah, she's
probably the last time we'll ever get to say it, Joe. I didn't hear it. Ready?
Never,
the Power of One.
Power of Two.
Alex,
I don't say the last part.
You say it.
Oh, the Power of Many.
You can't get it right.
No.
God damn it.
It's not worth it.
Anyways, they laugh at her. But then it turns out
She was summoning the bats.
He summoned the bats.
But
Batman.
But
again, what?
These guys are minors. They
don't care about
everything.
bats. If there was 100 bats coming at you, you'd be like,
just get down.
Yeah.
They're minors.
You've ever been to the bridge downtown when
Yes,
all the bats
just
come out and you're like, oh, they're
How
supposed
about
to be.
you?
They're gonna pass.
I don't like bats. I'll leave. I'll come back later.
Maybe you shouldn't be a minor like they are.
Yeah.
But they encounter
So you
these
think
things.
They're minors. They don't care about bats.
Yeah, because they encounter them
Probably every day.
Yes, it's like, oh, just get down. They'll pass.
Yeah.
They're like, oh no, bats! They run off like little,
like minors.
Attacks them with bats, and then the dwarves run off. And he goes, "I love you." And then she goes,
she throws her cape.
"Love me later," because they want another Star Wars moment. They want to do the fucking Han Solo, only switch it around, have the girl go this time. I know. I mean, love me later, like please me later. I'm like, oh, gosh damn. They're gonna be back with more. Then we'll be ready.
with what?
What?
More bats?
The stupid look that they give towards I cannot. Oh!
How are you gonna be ready? You already.
We're gonna be ready with
you
more
already sent out
bats.
the bats. Dude, what happened? They threw bats at us.
It's like, be ready with what?
More bats.
Does Durin have
Rats.
dwarves loyal to him?
Maybe there's gonna be rats.
Why didn't they
If
use
she can
that?
literally summon bats, she's got those two other like rock singer friends. Like they could summon all the bats in Khazad-dûm.
They can summon all the creatures.
That's terrifying. That is the coolest power.
Rats
and I
and bats.
want her to become Bat Lord of Khazad-dûm.
Yeah. And then Elendil is about to be thrown into the sea. His daughter is sad, but resolute. The queen takes his place, though. And then she goes, if we are to start a faithful, kind of rebellion, it has to be me, to take the first steps. And I'm like, I'm not really sure about that. I think if he does a miracle, too, it'll be just as effective as you doing the miracle because people respect this captain. But okay, fine. They want the queen to do the miracle. And, and the show needs something for the queen to do, too. So this is what she
Yeah,
gets
it
to
would
do.
have been better if he did it because he wasn't tainted by the orb.
Right. And then, but then she does it. And it's not only tainted by the orb, Joe, but led a disastrous military campaign that led to a huge military defeat and a bunch of dead people of 20 soldiers, right?
Yeah. There's a problem with nothing seems like a big deal because no one lives in Middle
That's
Earth.
not a big deal. You're right. Anyways, it pulls her under. It stares at her. It screams at her. But then it throws her back up on shore. And she is deemed innocent by the Valar. Hail the Queen of the Sea. And all Númenóreans hail her as queen again. Everyone that went to go watch her die a brutal death because they were so convinced she's such a bitch and a dumbass. And then she gets thrown back up. And God, the Númenóreans are so fickle and they're so stupid and they're so mob-like.
See, that would have been...
They happen to go with anything. And these are supposed to, get this, these are supposed to be the Númenóreans likely that are not religious, that are not the faithful, that do not care about all this shit.
Yeah, because they're on
And all of a sudden they're fucking convinced. So I guess they just turn into the faithful automatically, even though they hate the faithful. This is so stupid.
Do you think
that's more believable of that happening instead of the guy just walking in front? He chose me. He's like, no, you just walked in front of it.
Yeah.
This one got pulled under, screamed at. It's like, all right, you're fine. That's better.
I know. I sent in another review, and this eagle comes in, and somebody did a dub the eagle, and it's like, hey, what's up, girl? And then all these people start screaming at him, and he goes, what the hell are these people screaming at me? All right, peace out. I'm out of here. That's what he literally says.
He chose
the
me. He's like,
Numenorians are like,
oh, no, he didn't.
fair is on, and everybody.
Yeah,
thinks,
that
I
one
hate
guy.
this. I hate this whole thing.
All it takes is that one clapper.
One clap, you start.
One clap.
Yeah.
Give us
Don't
a
you fucking
moment.
start.
Joe hates clappers in theaters,
theaters.
and he hates mob
And airplanes.
rule.
Yes.
Yeah, gives us a momentary advantage. Us. He goes as he unlocks her because she's like, all right, this will give us a momentary advantage. So it seems like she agrees to help Adar. She agrees to destroy Sauron together. But what of the Uruk after this is done? He asks her. Will the king let them return home in peace? And I'm with him. No, it's not likely.
I will tell you nothing, but tell you everything.
And then Adar goes, well, you've already told me everything. That's what everything that I was hoping to hear, you already just told
You
me.
confirmed it.
Thank you. I know who Sauron is. I know where the ring is and the location. And yeah. So I'm going to take down Eregion, and I'm going to take Sauron with it.
Yeah.
I don't know why he wants to fight Eregion, but whatever. It's not like the elves are going to give up, one of the Anatar or Celebrimbor is going to say, sure, kill this guy that's been helping me. So he has to take Eregion. Yeah. And I'm with him. Fuck all these elves. They're stupid as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're ignoring that he can change forms, and I don't love that.
Yeah.
Sauron, they're like, is he Halbrand? It's like, he could be Halbrand. He could be fucking anybody. He could be you. We don't know.
Yeah.
He can turn into a werewolf sometimes.
And
Bigfoot.
He's like, how dare you say that I'm an idiot? I do not have just one legion. And the camera pans up, and there's some dudes setting fires.
I was trying to.
There's a lot of like little moving orcs that they're supposed to be down there. It's just so dark.
Yeah, but I'm like, I thought that is also a part of the one legion. There's no indication.
Each
that this
fire
is
is a legion joke, because a legion's
that
only
this
7.
is a secondary legion or a third legion.
They said a
or
couple
what-
bonfires. It's like,
Anyways, and then she goes, and then upon looking at this, she goes, Sauron doesn't have an army. I don't know how she got that from that, but okay. Sauron doesn't have an army. This is what he wants. And the reason why I say that is because she should have already known this, that Sauron hasn't had an army. And she would have known this from the beginning, but it appears as if she makes the realization right now that this is everything that Sauron wants. He's using your army to attack. He's using you. And she tries to tell him, and he doesn't listen. He goes, burp! And notice how the lieutenant is right by him. Lieutenant is like, didn't want to give it to him. So they're building this lieutenant to do something. Mm-hmm. I said it in the fucking thing, and I cannot wait until they fuck it up.
I said 2 weeks ago that he would be the one that kills Adar.
We're gonna see.
and no one, and none of the elves hear that.
None of the elves hear
yeah.
it.
The horn?
The horn.
horn.
Well, he was facing the other
that's
direction.
right. Yeah, they don't hear it.
What is that?
Man.
Until they start knocking on the door. Oh shit, we're getting attacked.
Celebrimbor is really hungry over there, huh? His stomach is growling.
That's pretty fucking loud.
Man, I hate him. I hate these
It's
elves.
pretty
I hate
loud.
everybody.
Like,
It was the wind.
the
Finally!
Legion hears
And only when there are fires at the forest's edge. For likely hours, by the way. The guy's he's like looking. And I know the camera's over here doing that scene. Then when it comes over here, he's already been looking at it for an hour or two.
He's nearsighted, bro. He can't see. He's like, what is
Finally,
that?
he goes, sound the bells! We are under attack! Ah! And everybody screams, and there's like fucking ladies running, and everybody's running, and everybody's panicking, and
Celebrimbor is like, what's that noise? Nothing, friend.
yeah.
Everything's fine. Make the rings.
But this does lead to one of the cool scenes where Sauron cuts himself. So check this out. Sauron did cut himself before this. So that's why I think that the cutting led to this magic, this power, because he makes Celebrimbor see something else. He convinces him that everything's fine, everybody's happy. In fact, if I was Celebrimbor, I'm like, no, man, it's too happy now. But whatever. He's like, okay, go back and show up your grandpa. Because I've got his hammer here. You're gonna make something even better than what Morgoth was wanting, and the Cimmerils, and your rings are gonna be the best. And he goes, okay, cool. And so then he goes back in to do the work. But knowing this makes everything that came before so much worse, because it's like you could have utilized this plot device and this thing to, you know, further the threat of Sauron, make him so much more fascinating and interesting and tension-filled, and finding people weaving spells, and then subterfuge as he fucking stabs people that find out on a thing, and he's just manipulating people. But no, we don't get any of that.
Can you imagine, like, if this season had none of the Harfoot stuff, and we actually got to see Sauron running around and calling down lightning on a bridge and resurrecting Barrow Whites and killing messengers constantly and doing cool evil stuff and building
focusing on the best part.
Be the best part of the show, because Charlie Vickers is still great, and it's like I still love Durin. I like Disa, even though the bat scene was terrible. It's like we've got some good characters. We just need to give them good
not
scenes.
Just the bat scene, but the market scene where the Balrog sleeps around the corner from the
yeah, she follows it like she's Georgie from It, and she's like, oh.
You could have had it. All right, this I already talked about. These two scenes that could have been dunning it, and then yeah, and then the promo says this season for me is a test of faith, and I said, me too,
Yeah.
Anyways, terrible.
Yep.
The sacking of Eregion is next.
It's the nut sacking of Eregion, though.
And they will Adar will drag his nutsack across everybody's face, and I will cheer, because I hate all of these elves. I hate Galadriel. I hate Celebrimbor.
He's not.
I hate Arendir.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do.
Okay, so
I hope they bring Theo next episode.
Theo and
Alex.
Isildur.
For Alex.
So let me kind of, since we're here, I want to give people, because this is a stupid fanfic. Oh, damn, an hour and 26 minutes is our longest one yet. Okay. So, the battle. Celeborn.
Who?
Celeborn.
Teleporno. His name's
led
Teleporno.
A sortie from Eregion and drove back the vanguard of Sauron's host. So they're active. The elves are out there. They know forces are coming because the elves aren't fucking stupid.
Yep.
So Celeborn, Teleporno, the hero Teleporno, drives back his host temporarily and combines his forces with Elrond and the reinforcements from Lindon. As Sauron's horse grows and grows closer, defenders of Eregion could no longer hold him off, because their forces were greatly outnumbered. Sauron then surrounds all of Eregion, preventing Elrond and Teleporno from returning there. So, it's called Ost-in-Edhill. Ost-in-Edhill is what I was trying to find the name of that city. With Celebrimbor himself makes a last desperate stand on the steps of the House of Myrdain. So he's up in here fighting, and he's a hero and shit. And then he's taken captive by the orcs. Sauron took the 9 rings and had Celebrimbor tormented into revealing the location of the 7. Afterwards, Celebrimbor was shot through with a bunch of orc arrows. And by some accounts, Sauron used Celebrimbor's body as a banner as he turned to face the host of Elrond.
Yeah. That's a bad guy right there.
Elrond would have been overwhelmed, but the host of Sauron was suddenly attacked from the rear by the dwarves of Khazad-dûm and the elves of Lorinad, led by Amroth. Not in the show. We don't know who Amroth is. That ain't happening. The dwarves are so far up their own asses, they're not sending a fucking army.
I just don't know how in 2 episodes we get where like the dwarves show up with any amount of army. Like I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen.
The only way they can do it in the show is if Durin the prince goes, "Hey guys, come with me," and he goes against his father's wishes. But that would be so stupid.
But how would they know that like any of this stuff? Like I don't think it's going to happen at all.
So Sauron halted his pursuit of Elrond and had to turn on the dwarves and elves at his rear, quickly defeating them. Though this allowed Elrond and his forces to escape, and the fucking rings he wanted. God damn it! That's such a huge plot point.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to do it. And Elrond. So then Elrond gathered what remained of the elves and retreated northward and established what would later become Rivendell that we see in Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings city. And Other survivors escaped into Khazad-dûm, and they were granted passage by their friends the dwarves, eventually coming through the mountains in the woodlands, which would be called Lothor-Loren, and the gates of Moria were shut and remained shut until the Fellowship of the Ring had to go through thousands of years later.
So the 3 rings aren't there, so they've already solved that point, right? So they don't have to worry about those rings escaping, and the only rings that Sauron wants, he's going to get immediately. I mean, they've completely rewritten everything about the now the nut sacking of Eregion. So I mean,
2 episodes left. We'll see. They're going to redeem themselves.
Okay, so what happens in the aftermath of this, and this presumably would be season 4, Sauron had obtained all the rings of power save for the 3 elvish rings that, the Elrond and Galahad has and Galadriel has. The host of Sauron then ravaged much of that region that they're in right now, and then they pressed west to Lindon. Oh, shit! Where Sauron hoped to seize one of the 3. I'll fucking kill the king, I'll get his ring. Or something. I'll get one of them. Furthermore, Sauron sent the bulk of his forces to besiege Elrond in order to prevent him from assailing his rear. So I guess maybe in the next season, he's going to desperately try to get 2 of the rings while looking for Galadriel to get the 3rd ring.
I think you skip it.
And just skip it and go straight to the Númenórean thing.
I think
maybe he does that at first, but it's so small scale because the Númenóreans show up, kick his ass, and then take him prisoner.
I mean, they've got to go. I mean, are you thinking they don't bring him to Mordor, or they don't fight him at Mordor?
Right.
Yeah,
they just like compressing everything to just get him into. They just need to get him into not Mordor, Númenórea.
They have to because
as a
they've
prisoner,
been spending a lot over
and that's
there.
why they were setting up. One thing we forgot to talk about is Farazan was touching the Palantir, and he saw that Sauron is Halbrand, and so he's like, "Oh shit, that guy that was in our kingdom, that was Sauron." So now he has the impetus, or is that the right word? He has to go and kick that guy's ass. He's like, fuck that guy, I'm going to kick his ass. And that's what leads to the story, because he kicks his ass, he brings him to the island, then he slowly manipulates all the Númenóreans who are, the faithful as fuck off, and he manipulates them all to worship Morgoth.
Yeah, but so the thing is, they're already evil. And so, that's the problem I have with the entire the point of the show is everyone in the Númenor is a dick already. And it's not, we don't get to see the fall of Númenor.
Right.
Because they're already fallen. Well, they're already a culture that I don't like. We don't like them.
To die.
I'm rooting for the wave, bro.
Yeah.
Let's go. Drown all these fuckers.
He convinces them to worship, evil, essentially, and they're jealous of the elves' fucking everlasting life. So they declare war on heaven.
Let's go fight God, bro.
And they go they take all their ships and they're about to go into heaven and fight all the Valar. And that's when the God of the whole universe says, fuck this, and destroys everything with a huge wave. And the few Númenóreans that make it out were the faithful that are like, no, fuck that, we're not going to attack heaven.
Pelargir or something.
And then then they establish Gondor and all the shit, all the humans that we know from Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson. Anyways, that's what's coming. That's way cooler shit. That's not going to happen in the show.
That's not
what
coming.
do you mean?
That's not coming.
That's what's coming.
No,
but it's going
not.
to be the most bastardized version that you've ever seen of it.
Yeah,
So,
Isildur is going to go find that lady because we have to see what happens with him and that lady, remember?
Yeah, that's right.
Because Isildur's super important. And
oh, no, we still have to wrap her story up. That's going to be so much wasted time.
yeah, her story, and then the Harfoots, and then
Theo.
And Theo.
How the fuck are they going to do this? I thought it was 2-episode Siege. It's 1-episode Siege. And then the last episode is literally going to be all that
Or the action is going to be exactly how it was in this one, where I'm like, oh, cool, we're going to see some stuff, and the giant fireballs, the catapults are happening, and it goes smash to black. You don't get to see any of that stuff because fuck you.
Right, because the next episode, the city's
Everything's gonna
already in
destroy it.
rubble,
Yeah.
and there's a few little fights here and there.
Yeah.
0 out of 10? Could we possibly get it where we don't get to see any of the action?
Ooh. I would give it a fucking 0 because I've been waiting for something to fucking happen.
Non-functional? I don't know if it's non-functional.
There's no
Picard
fucking
was
battle.
Picard was 0 on it. All right. Anyways, thank you guys so much. Ran long. And
Yes.
I hope you guys appreciate these videos. If you do, consider contributing to us on Patreon. These take a lot of work and editing and then watching. And it's therapy for everybody. So thank you very much for hanging out with us and supporting us. So we're going to go check out the Penguin and Agatha, and we'll see you on the next Angry. Couldn't be as bad as this, could it? See you on the next Angry Joe show. Bye, guys.